Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live. Welcome to A Conversation with, and I am your humble host, Floyd Marshall. And as always, I am joined by my absolutely extraordinary, amazing, incomparable co host, Okema T. And today, we are joined by two of the best directors out there, auteurs. No, I just looked that word up. So, yeah. Um, but we are joined by two of the best directors out there to do this. Now, she just told me how to pronounce the name, so I hope I get this right again. Ch- Pronounce your
Tchaiko.
name. Chaiko,
Yeah, you got it. Tchaiko Omawale.
Chaiko Omawale,
Hmm.
and C. Craig Paterson. And if you've ever watched Black Mafia Family, Good Trouble, Cherish the Day, Queen Sugar, then you are familiar with Ms. Omawale's work. This good brother, C. Craig Paterson, has this amazing short out that is debuting at Black Star called Chigaboom, as does Miss Omawale, Fist of Mothers, both premiering at Black Star Film Festival. Oh, we're going to talk about that. But the good brother Craig did a movie, The Cipher, with a very good friend of mine, Latia Solomon. So when I saw that, it's amazing how small the world is and how everyone is so connected. She is so amazing. And just a little backstory: I met Latia about 10 years ago when I did my first film award show in Philadelphia, and she won for best short film. And she told me that was the first award that she had ever won as a filmmaker. And then I
Hey,
look at where she is now and I'm like,
she's on a
wow,
lot. Yeah.
that is absolutely amazing. So again, welcome to A Conversation with. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing phenomenal. So,
In Jamaica, we said Medea. I'm here.
Okay. I will take it.
I'm here.
That's and you know what? Sometimes that's good enough, and especially in the world that we're living in now, just being present, just being present is a major accomplishment. Um, but one thing that I always like to ask my guests when they come on the show, and this question is for the both of you: how did the two of you get started in the film industry?
You go first, Steve.
oh, mine was really happenstance. I accidentally found my way over here. I thought I was going to work in magazines. And when I got into my undergrad in 2013, 2014, that would seem like a terrible way to go at that particular point in time. So I was trying to figure out what else I could do with writing since I'd written my whole life. And decided to start pretending to be a screenwriter and met a couple other friends that were also pretending to be screenwriters. And then one of them had a camera, and I've been pretending to be a director since then.
First of all, not pretending. With your resume, there's nothing to pretend about.
I enjoy it. Like this is all kind of we all live in the make believe of all of this stuff, so it's all good to me.
I started making music videos and then made a short film, Solace. And then when I made my feature, Solace, Ava DuVernay invited me to direct on Queen Sugar, and that started my TV directing career. But outside or adjacent to TV, I also work on my own stuff. I like to do VR films. Working on my second feature called Beast. It's a dark fantasy biomythography, and then yeah, I like to make things.
Oh, okay.
I love it. Both of you have very extensive opportunities that you have maximized, whether it was through starting with shorts, directing brands, directing features, directing television. Tell us, well, Floyd always asks, how did you get started in the business? But the building blocks that exist today did not exist necessarily when you started. So tell us how you climbed the mountain, or told the mountain to move, or made the mountain come to you.
What building blocks are you referring to specifically?
So all of these programs and shadow opportunity, like for episodic, Ava saw your film and then invited you into the fold. These days, episodic is a harder nut to crack. There's a gajillion programs, and a lot of times without those programs or your film, your short being in a Sundance, in a South by, episodic is a hard place to be. So I would love to know from the both of you how you made what has happened to and for you happen. And some of it could have easily been the game. You're muted, Tchaiko.
Oh, let me see if I can.
Okay, now it's showing you're on mute. Maybe if you, Floyd, can you unmute her? There you go. There you go.
Okay,
there you go.
Mercury's retrograde, so this is. And then, oh wait,
she's in micro braids, and they are clearly very tight.
What was I gonna say? Oh, I was asking C if he's also an episodic director.
I think something happened with Mr. Patterson. He froze.
Oh, he's frozen. Okay.
Well, okay, let's see. Oh, there he is again. Let's see.
Okay. Yeah, I saw him trying to.
Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Now we have you twice.
No, now we're back to your frozen.
Okay.
Okay. You start, and when he pops in, we'll keep going. So, because the people are watching.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think, depending on when you came into the industry, episodic was either more welcoming or more restricted. I think it's tough right now because there are less shows being made. But I don't know. I mean, I think it's such a hard question to ask because I don't actually believe in like one way being the way people get into episodic.
Oh, agreed.
And I'm also not even sure if episodic is like where I would tell somebody to go.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're muted again. I don't know.
Oh, there you go. Okay, you're back.
It's like something keeps popping up on my computer and I don't know why. And then I guess I get muted, but I'm not touching anything. Yeah, I was saying, I don't know if episodic is necessarily what lots of people want to do if they're filmmakers. Like TV is a writer's medium before it's a director's medium. So I understand if you're a writer. See, I was trying to ask you before if you direct episodic or if you're a writer in episodic. But for me, it feels like a completely different approach. If you're a filmmaker or if you're an auteur, you're not going to necessarily go into TV directing because it's like for the writer and the creator. There's like for me, I see episodic directing as like, I like to think of my career the way I grew up. My dad was a diplomat and I grew up traveling to different countries, and every country you go to as a kid, you're kind of sort of doing like mini diplomacy, like you're figuring out, you know, the culture of that country or that school you're going to. And so episodic directing is like one sort of culture, and then directing my own feature is another kind of culture. And then I've also directed commercials, and that's a whole different other culture. But I always kind of clam up when I get asked about episodic TV directing because it really feels like such a different, it's like its own thing.
Well, I meant just in general, in terms of your careers overarchingly, like, so you are very diverse in what you do and what you touch. Some people stay in one space. You have, like you said, in your growing up with diplomatic parents, there was so many things and places and spaces to touch. And that's what it seems you're doing with your career. So, you know, I remember coming up, I used to hear everybody tell me, you have to pick one thing. You have to pick one space because nobody will know what to do with you. I I was blessed to never listen to them because when the pandemic hit, I went into post and was still making money. At the time, I was on tour with a musical theater, with a Broadway show. Amazing. So if I listened to them, I'd have been broke and sad, right? So I love your diversity and yours, C.Craig. I think that both of you are very diverse in what your offerings are. So that was why the question was born of how did you hop from here to there and make it work for you? Because I feel like right now, diversification is literally our only survival. Nothing is staying in one space anymore. And we have a lot of viewers, and our audience is made up of people that are of many, many multi-hyphenates. So I always love to have multi-hyphenates on the show because it helps everybody to kind of give their story of their multi-hyphenate journey and let people know it's possible and plausible.
Right. Yeah, for me, a big part of like my journey has been like kind of holding the artistic side and the technology side together, right? That's helped out a lot because honestly, there's a lot of money to be made or used for filmmaking on the research and development side, right? So if there's something that you're building out where you could use R&D to help fund it, it's been a huge boost to me, and that's been everything from comedy specials to animations to beyond that, to live action, right? There's always something to be innovative, whether it's in, testing out new microphones, testing out new cameras, new lenses. At one point in time, it was the volume stage, right? Like the film that was in Cannes before Fathead, like that was done at the time on this top secret volume stage at Amazon, stage 15, that like no one knew about, but they needed a test dummy to go film there to make sure that everything worked before it went out to the world. And like our team was like, yo, like let's go, because I tend to kind of run with, we're all like Goonies, man. We all have the never say die attitude, and we'll like move towards something because film has given us so much already, right? So if we could do some practice and help filmmakers down the line be able to use the technology, then we owe it to them to do it. So that's been a big help for me. That and interning many years ago for Roy Wood Jr., like that relationship has like paid more than I could ever imagine, because like he's become a true like friend, collaborator. He looked out for me throughout undergrad and grad school, and 2 weeks before graduation, he was like, "Hey man, I got a comedy special. You want to direct it?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, let's do it." And hung up with him, and then went on YouTube and YouTube how to direct comedy specials. Yeah.
That is amazing, and I think people really need to internalize what you just said, because that is the power of a relationship. But that's also the power of showing up and doing your job. That someone would then say, "Hey, you know what? I trust Craig enough to do the thing that I'm about to ask him to do." So it's so important that, as an intern, even as an intern where you may or may not be getting paid, to come and be as professional as absolutely possible, because people are watching. Right. And with the two of you being directors and being on set, I am more than sure that you've been in situations where, you're directing, but there may be a little bit of downtime, and you're watching the goings on of what's going on with your set. And actually, Craig, you kind of alluded to that when you were talking about a gentleman when you were about to direct the Roy special, and he said to not just look at the one monitor, but to be looking at multiple things at the same time. Can you talk a little bit about that? I know it's kind of tying into what I'm saying with just watching on set, everything that's going on. But since you mentioned Roy, can you talk about what it was like with that being your first directing job on that scale, having to learn it?
Well, maybe
he went away. Okay. When he comes back, I'm going to finish that question.
Oh my God. So for our viewers, clearly Retrograde decided to play with tech today.
Absolutely. But you know what? There he is again, and we're going to make it do what it do. He's back.
I have no idea why it keeps booting me out, but here we are.
That is okay. You know what's funny? Let's talk about this for a second. with what's going on. How do the two of you as directors deal with unlooked for situations on your sets?
Hmm. I mean,
Can you say that again?
So,
How do you deal with unforeseen situations on set?
Oh, unforeseen. Oh, that's part of the job.
right.
Like,
Yeah. When you're dealing with the technological side, as much as I have to, right? You do it with a smile on your face and you kind of move through it, and you recognize that like the job is not to be perfect, it's to be good at what you do. Right.
Mm-hmm. Tchaiko?
oh, okay. I couldn't tell if things were frozen. You have to be calm. You have to be calm, and depending on the set, I mean, there are people whose job is not mine to like fix things technically. There's other stuff that's unforeseen that's part of my job as a director. Like if weather happens and so then you can't shoot at a location, and so then that is going to change the story, then you got to just figure out like how to keep things consistent, figure out how to come up with different ideas. But it's part, I think, for me, the biggest thing is remaining calm, so your prefrontal cortex is working, you're not in your reptile brain, so that you can figure out solutions. And for me, I don't know, I love being on set. I'm so much, I don't know, like I'm so excited to meet the challenge of like not knowing how to figure things out and figuring them out in the moment. Since becoming a mother, my patience level has also just like gone through the roof. Like I've just become so much more spacious. Yeah.
That's a great outlook on that for sure.
Okay, well, Tchaiko, you were born in Italy, and you grew up in 8 different countries by the time you were 16.
That's
How,
like directly from Ohio.
so how has that shaped you as a filmmaker with having so many diverse experiences? How has that shaped you as a filmmaker and as a director?
Yeah. So people that grew up like me were called third culture kids. And there's some certain like I guess like personality or developmental stuff that we have that's so things like most directors have to be curious, but I think my level of curiosity is something that's just innate and natural. Like I'm just genuinely always like authentically want to know about everybody and everything. And when you're directing, especially if you're doing character work and you're doing narrative work, like you have to be open and curious about why an actor might choose to, might make a choice, or like what could a different choice be. But I think story wise, and I love people as well. Like I really love people. I love the shadow side of things quite a lot. And growing up, moving from place to place, it's always so hard to discuss sometimes because it's so normal for me. But I just like I know that from my own writing, the things that I'm really excited about right now is world building. So I like very specific worlds. So I'm like very into, like when I was interviewing for BMF, the executive at Lionsgate was like, I was like, I love drug trafficking films, like, and drug trafficking TV shows. Because for me, it's like such a, and I don't look like, I mean, people, my manager also was like really surprised when I was like, I love drug trafficking shows. I love very specific worlds. Like I'm really into the underworld and the shadow side and like just very specific things. I also love big magical worlds, which I haven't gotten to do that yet in TV, but the closest that I think I've gotten to kind of reliving when you move around a lot is it's like you get a sense of like I'm a very adrenalized person, and so like I'm really into getting myself jacked up emotionally with things on set, like not on set, but like stories. Yeah.
Wow.
And Craig, you you build very interesting worlds as well with your work, especially when you talk about what you do and your tech side. Talk to us a little bit about what goes into your process of like prepping and world building when you're doing a project.
Oh man, it's kind of similar, right? I enjoy building stuff out and creating like stories on mythology and things inside of that. And the hope when we were building out Fathead was I wanted, if I needed to work in this particular space for the next 30 years, there's enough in there to do it, right? And the same with Chickaboom, right? That the world that we're building out for the feature for that is much more expansive and wild and crazy. And I'm a big video game person too, so like I'm used to being in worlds for like hundreds or sometimes thousands of hours, right? So you want to make sure that there's anywhere someone turns and looks, they know that you thought about it, right?
I love that.
That's amazing. But Tchaiko, I want to go back a little bit, and your debut film, Solace. Tchaiko. See, Tchaiko. What did I say? Tchaiko. I am going to get it right. Tchaiko. Okay.
When I'm famous, everybody will know how to pronounce my name.
I know that's right.
Somebody with a name who always gets mispronounced. I've been Okema, Omika, you name it.
And you know what? I should be better at this because I don't know how many times I've been called Floyd. I'm like, yo, really? Like F, like it's Floyd. So I should know better. Tchaiko. We're going to get that right.
Tchaiko.
See, I did it again. Tchaiko. I did it again.
Just
Tchaiko.
write it phonetically in your notes.
Yeah,
I know
let me write this down. I'm gonna write it. Because you know what? I'm writing it how I'm reading it.
I know. So if you write it phonetically, you won't mess it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like that. We about to go Ebonic on them. So Tchaiko. See, I wrote it Chiko. That's how I'm gonna pronounce it for the rest of the podcast. Because if I have that A and that I in there, I'm gonna mess it up. You know. Okay. But blame it on the fact I don't know. But Tchaiko, you did an amazing film entitled Solace. It's an award-winning film about a young Black woman navigating an eating disorder. And that's something that you rarely see in cinema. You don't see us portrayed in that light very often. And you know, you're also working on your dark fantasy entitled Beast, where you're exploring infertility and postpartum mental health, something else that you don't see us in too much. So can you talk about the importance in the making of both those films, the making of Solace and with Beast being, you know, something that is in the works?
Yeah. I think that I'm a radically honest person and my superpower is my vulnerability. And I'm so obsessed with not myself, but like I'm like constantly trying to like understand myself, heal myself, and the way that I do it is through film. So Solace was kind of like the first step where I had an eating disorder when I was younger, didn't know till I was 30. And so Solace, I kind of like created a story from that experience. Beast, which hasn't been made yet, is super autobiographical. Like the character has 3 miscarriages. She has her 4th pregnancy, makes it to term, but then has a horrible, you know, like I basically created a mythography based on the timeline of my trying to get pregnant and failing and my dysfunctional relationship, and the question was, what was the question?
What was the importance of making both of those, of making that film?
What is the importance of talking about things that are not normally seen in our society and communities?
Well, that's my jam. I like to talk about things that people are uncomfortable with. Like it's like part of my neurodivergence divergences. I'll say really awkward things, which I'm not going to do on this show. But it's like A, fun, but B, the responsibility of an artist to be true, right? So I happen to be a person that I think my destiny and my role in this physical form is to really share with the world the things that I've experienced. And there is something that I want to say that I feel like is important. When I made Solace, I thought that there were no films dealing with this.
Mhm.
But I think what we have a problem with is that there are interruptions in the sort of history and legacy of, at least specifically for me, Black women filmmakers. And so I had watched this film, Tchaiko, what is the name? When you're perimenopausal, it's hard. Oh God,
Girl,
forgetting the name of
I'm
it.
with you.
You understand. It was on Criterion. It's on Criterion, and Maya Cade brought it to the world. Hold on. And it's about. I'm gonna tell you what the film is in a second, but it's about a woman whose mother. She's like trying to get comfortable with her body, and her mom was an adult movie star, and she's starring in a film. And the film isn't about her eating disorder or her body dysmorphia, but that's in there. And I remember when I watched it, I was like, oh my God, I thought that I was the first person to like deal with this stuff. And in this film, it was, I mean, I will look when C.Craig is talking so that we can like say the name of it, because I've forgotten. But we've actually done things before. We just, it's so hard to find the films when you're indie, and so I just want to say that. So I'm sure that there are other films out there
Oh yeah.
talking about postpartum rage. I have postpartum rage specifically. I like kicked in a wall. It was during the pandemic. I was hungry, as we say in Jamaica. But I'm sure they're out there. I know my special sauce is that I'm really into magic, and that's what's saving my life. And as an 80s baby, I loved Pan's Latin. I see, Craig, I'm coming to see your films. But like, I loved Never. Do you remember? You're younger than I am, but Never Ending Story.
Of course, yeah.
Oh yeah, yes.
And Labyrinth, the Labyrinth, like all that sort of magical world is what I'm putting together with my, my really difficult journey. And my son is awesome and beautiful and amazing, so it worked out in the end. But I don't know, with AI, I think probably, and we can talk about this some more, I think I'm interested. I have a lot of problems with it, but I'm really interested to see how specifically people on the continent will make more fantasy films, or fantastic, because that's like indigeneity, right? Like the unseen world, magic, all of that is like more real through an indigenous lens than what we're actually seeing in this realm. And that's maybe one of the things that I'm like, okay, if we're gonna destroy the planet with data centers, like, then maybe like let's have like lots of West African and Southern African like fantastical films made with the help of that technology.
Yeah, hopefully we could do it without the destruction component. But
I think the hopeful Tchaiko believes, and I've been doing some research. There's a PhD woman, of course, whose name I've forgotten, who talks about local AI versus like the big stuff. So the more I learn about it and sort of learn from a Black radical perspective, so not just like Black, then that gives me little bits and pieces, because I'm not a technologist like you seem to be, but it gives me little pieces of hope that like there is a way that the technology can just be a technology as opposed to an extractive technology.
Yes.
I hope you have more things to offer, more help to offer, hope to offer.
Yeah, so certainly, like, I love this planet. I love my people, right? So I'm from Louisiana, I'm from New Orleans, right? So like paying attention to the destruction of community is a really big thing for me, since we're kind of a city on a ticking clock of like before water shows up. But so that it is a big deal, and localizing things is a huge component of being thoughtful about how we approach technology. I just try to look at it in fearful is a bad way to go anywhere, much less the future, right? Mm-hmm. And I would much rather have Tchaiko in the room when decisions are being made on how this will be used and implemented and thought about versus not having you in the room, right? Because I've seen what the rooms look like without your perspectives, right? And it does get a little gnarly at times, right? And you have to make sure people are thinking about it from a lot more than just an artistic angle, but from a community angle, and, you know, and making sure we're looking out for one another, right? Because I started in this, and I hope to continue in this, always being on sets and having lots of teammates, right? That's one of the things, Floyd, you had mentioned at the beginning, like the auteur thing. For me personally, I view teams as auteurs and not individual directors as auteurs, right? It's a full canvas that we all have a brush for. And when that team puts their mind to that particular canvas, you get a certain thing, and it can't just be the one person, right? So same way, it can't just be one team that's doing well with, we're being very responsible with generative and AI and things like that, but everyone else is kind of running amok. You need to be able to have, like, if I look out for my team and you look out for your team and you look out for your team, now that's a better and more, it's a stronger collective to be able to bounce things off of when people try to come at it sideways, right?
Have you worked with generative? Is that
yeah, so in Chickaboom, the cloud character Kaboom, that's voiced by Natasha Lyonne, is generative assisted. So when we were trying to get the film off the ground, we were getting quotes because of the character Kaboom. Like in the short, it's about Chika, who's a 9-year-old girl who wants to be a magician like her dad, but she sucks at magic, right? And like the Sorcerer's Apprentice, she goes into her dad's office one day when he's not around, opens up a jar that she thinks is empty, and this cloud mogwai pops out that's named Kaboom. And the way we designed it was going to cost us $400,000 a minute from IRA. A minute. Yeah, animation is really expensive.
Oh, no, I know.
So that's why
animation is still on my computer and not out in the world. I know.
So it's hard. But what we wanted to do, even though we knew that this new technology was going to be extremely helpful us to get there, we wanted to be able to hold on to the humanity of all the artists. We had over 200 people working on this film, right? So what we did was hand drew Kaboom, right? Every frame, and then wrap the generative, like, volumetric cloud mesh on top of Kaboom. And we got lucky in the design. I mean, we all worked at it, so it's less luck, but everything is kismet, right? So we got lucky that one of the designs that had happened that from a error that had gone down is that the cloud mesh didn't connect to the outline, the hand-drawn outline. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's Kaboom, leave it. So like Kaboom has this outline that is hand-drawn. So it's almost like Kaboom's soul stays with it the entire time. Because every frame you see, you could see that someone hand drew that, right? So like that's kind of the route that our team felt really, really excited about, to show that this tool is not being led, like it's not leading us, it's being led by the artist.
Right. Yeah.
I'm still stuck on $400,000 a minute.
Yeah, man, it's a hard game. But
It's
unless you're an animator, right? If you're, I'm not an animator. If you're an animator, then it costs time. You get what I mean? Like, but like the way that what we were going to need was a completely new pipeline, and pipelines cost a lot of money.
With that, one, Tchaiko, I loved how I loved how both of you just interacted with that topic. Tchaiko, you just addressing that, like, though you're not a technologist, you respect the technology, but you want to hold on to the humanity. And Craig, you saying that you do as a technologist and filmmaker. As we move forward in this AI thing that everyone seems to either run towards or from in this moment, what are your boundaries in this AI space? I feel like there's, like, I know for me, I will not sacrifice human capital for the tool that is AI, but I will find ways to uplift human capital to utilize the tool to cut my time and cut my costs, right? it's not always aligned.
Right.
And
right.
I will say I'm at a place where I don't have my stakes are not high enough to be like, well, I can't say no because I need X, Y, and Z. I can say no and then do something else in this moment, but that may not always be a career choice for me, right? So I'd love to know if you are open to sharing what your boundaries are in the AI space or your curiosities, because they kind of are the same thing depending on who you are.
I mean,
you know what's running through my head? Quiet on the Creek. I'm like, how much do I want to say? But
please, this is what, as per our email, this is a safe space.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
but also this lady works all over the place. So what we're not gonna do is jeopardize any new work, baby. Just
not at all.
Be judicious as you need to.
Yeah, facts. Big facts.
Safe space with an asterisk.
Yeah. You know what's safer for me is curiosity.
Which is why I gave an alternative. Listen, I love y'all.
I love it. I'm really curious about how it can help with neurodivergence. So, and for me, I don't have a strict boundary because I'm still learning about it. I'm like bodily afraid of generative AI. And my personality is such that when I'm afraid of something, I'm like, okay, I need to go towards it. And so I have this complicated, like I've taken classes. I took a class with this organization called GRX here in LA, where we were learning lots of different emergent technologies. And I was like, okay, I like motion capture, like that, that feels great for who I am. And I watch my body and I see how there are times when I literally, like, everything feels so tense to me when I'm like listening to people talk about it, certain people. Offline, Craig, we can talk about some of those people. No I think I try to find artists. So like I was at Sundance earlier this year, and there was a filmmaker who was working with the director who did what is the 90s movie about drugs with one of the Wayans in it? What is that called again?
Oh,
New Jack City.
No. White director. He's really into AI right now, and I need
are you talking about Darren Aronofsky?
Yeah, him.
Yeah.
So Aronofsky works with this woman, and she made a short film about like the day she was born, and so they used generative AI. Do you know which film I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know. Because they made it with Google DeepMind. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So to me, like my body could open and soften as I listened, because it was from an artist's point of view. They used both generative AI along with practical filmmaking. And so then the generative AI was like a tool. This is what people are talking about. But for me, it was like a tool. And that felt exciting, because also the film that she was doing was about motherhood and birth, and there was a spiritual aspect to it. There are times when I have used I canceled ChatGPT, but like and I'm about to cancel my Claude. But where I'm at right now is I'm like, okay, Tchaiko, if you complicate your use of it, like don't just be like, oh, everyone's using it. Like at least I'm like, okay, well, the Congolese children and the environment. It's like, at least if I'm gonna use it, which I've had to because I'm a single mom. I have ADHD, I'm perimenopausal, trying to get work. And so there's certain things that I can't afford to pay for an assistant. So I am taking capital away by using a machine to do things that when I was just off of BMF and made DGA money, I could hire, I had at one point like 2 assistants to help me between motherhood and making my feature stuff and getting ready. So I have used it where somebody's not getting paid because I'm using the machine, but I complicate it. And I know when I'm in rooms with people talking about it, like a lot of the rhetoric that I cannot stand is this fear mongering of you have to learn about it or else you're going to get left behind, and Black women are going to get left behind. And fear mongering to me does nothing, but I'll speak up. And that's where I'm at right now. And I'm at learning, and I'm at trying to find Black women who have a certain political pedagogy who are technologists. I spoke to, okay, what is his name? He's from the LA Rebellion. He has an organization in LA called, it's not Charles. I'm so sorry. But when I spoke to him, I was at Black Star in Palo Alto earlier this year, and he just gave the most beautiful, spacious, open way of thinking around it. He's like, nature is a technology. Like, this technology is a technology, just like mushrooms can, this is my sort of interpretation of what he's saying, just like how mushrooms can clean up, they have a technology to clean up nuclear waste. Like, this technology is ours to figure out what we want to do with it. Him being steeped in like Black radical political activism allows me to trust what he's saying. And then also, and he's an elder, and also I've seen what the tech has helped him do that when he was younger making films that he couldn't do. And then also him relating it to nature was helpful, and it felt like an indigenous sort of point of view. So that's where my curiosity leads me. I would love, if I'm like, I like to like bring little Tchaiko into the room and my idealist self. And it's like, for me, how amazing if this technology helped us figure out how to like bring the temperature down from Earth. Like, how amazing if this technology was used to like figure out how we can clean up the microplastics. How amazing if this technology, I had a nightmare once when I was arguing with Elon Musk, and I was like, but don't you see, this can help us like cure, like, why aren't we doing it to help with health? Like, this is how much the thing bothers me. It seeps into my like dreams, but there's so much possibility for it. But, alas, it's like, who is the one that's making it? And so for the technologists who want the rest of us to embrace it, I would say, don't go with fear, so that we can be more open to it, and provide us with opportunities to know how to do it where it's separated from the people who are really extractive and have proven themselves to be extractive.
That's a fact. And were you talking about Charles Barnett?
Thank you. No, not Charles Burnett. Charles Burnett's friend. Hold on. But it's Ben.
Okay.
What's Ben's last name again? I'm so sorry, Ben. I love you. I just have perimenopause. What is Ben's last name? Ben of LA Rebellion. Ben Caldwell. Thank you.
Oh, word. Okay.
Ben is amazing and has got like a organization in South LA. And anyway, yes, go ahead.
No, but I can tell you everything you said like kind of resonates with my soul. And first and foremost, I'm nowhere near a technologist. I'm a practitioner of this particular sport of filmmaking, and it's a universe that I've some of my best friends are technologists type of thing, right? But like the big takeaway for me, without going to the fear mongering, is the recognition, because of the rooms that I've been really privileged to sit in and see the complete, not even intentional lack of representation. It just is what it is, right? So like if we don't, and because generative and artificial intelligence and general artificial intelligence that's on the way, that will create a gap that's going to be pretty wide to get if we don't move culturally on it. It'll start getting orders of magnitude behind, right? But that's less for the artistic side of it, if that makes any sense. Like, if we don't go run and make AI, like put AI in movies, that's not going to like put us behind culturally. More on the sciences side of things with that. But Okema, you had your question was about like the hard line. Do I have a hard line and stuff like that for me? And it's the same as everything else, right? It's who are your teammates here, right? And what's their outlook on the world? So you get into a room and they're immediately talking about who to get rid of. Well, that's a kind of a hard line. You get what I'm saying? Because it's not about efficiency. It's about like for that type of team, it becomes about the economic efficiency. And look, it's our job, Tchaiko. Like it is like we have to we have to make something for this budget and hope it brings back this thing. Like that is part of the economic system that we're in. But it does not mean we have to be callous about how we get there, right? We could be strategic about how we get there. And maybe it's like, oh, this team can't be on for the duration of the film. They could be on for like, 4 months as opposed to 8 months and things like you get what I mean? Like there's things that you would have to do as a filmmaker even if you weren't working with any new technology in any type of way, right? You have to figure out how to get to the end goal of things. So yeah, that's it. If the team that's the hard line for me. If the team is thrown, then I'm good. There's other stuff to do.
Fascinating. Wow, this has been fascinating. You know, I love having smart people on because I learned so much. It's like going to school every time we do this podcast, and I've learned so much. So, you know, I hope that people that are listening now and that will be listening in the future will really sit and take a deep dive into the conversation that we're having, because this is the way the industry is moving, and it's going to depend on how you move within the industry. But let's get to the 2 films that the both of you have debuting at Black Star Film Festival.
Listen,
Tchaiko, I watched Fist of Mothers, and Craig, I watched Chickaboom. It was so cute. But really quickly before I get back to you, Tchaiko, when I was watching Chickaboom, the dad,
yeah,
all I kept thinking about was the boys.
Oh, that's too.
I'm looking at the film, and it was such an amazing film. But every time the dad talked, all I could think of was his character in The Boys. And if you saw the last season of The Boys,
it's a big contrast.
It was a hoot, and it just kept kind of creeping in my head. But Tchaiko, Fist of Mothers, that was an amazing film. It was a very interesting film, and I loved. You know what? I hope if you are in Philadelphia and you can get to Black Star, I truly hope you go and see this film, especially if you're a filmmaker, because this film is a little bit over 4 minutes.
Baby, it was the tightest 4 minutes.
You hear what I'm saying? So
it was the tightest, most sonically satisfying 4 friggin' minutes. And as a person who is not a mother, but who has been mothering since I'm 20 years older than my brother and 15 years older than my sisters. So I've been mothering for a very long time. Just yes. From
got some playground and school experiences.
From the sound, baby, I have wanted to fight. See, the thing is, when you're younger than your siblings by so much, you be the same age as your siblings' parents, your siblings' friends' parents. Because my mama is older. My mother had me at 18, 19. She had them at 35 and 41. Listen, I know what it's like to want to fight somebody's mama because they acted up. I know what it's like. I have been there where my siblings have had people say, well, my older sister, get her. My mother's too old to fight her, but baby, I won't come and see. She's so glad and get she for me. Right? So when I saw it, I was like, And the actress that played, she looked more indigenous, I think, or she.
Lauren, she's black. Lauren is black.
And okay.
I'm
the one who had the problematic child. The one who had the problematic child.
Oh, the white mom. Oh, yes. No, Sophia's white.
Okay. Yeah. The hair, the nose and the hair gave me not exactly white, but yes. That the way you played it. And then utilized your sound design and your fight choreo to, girl, yes. Just friggin' yes.
And where did you come up with the concept for that? For the film?
Who child mess with your baby?
Yeah. Where did that?
Oh, it was my friend who it was another mom friend of mine whose little boy was best friends with this little girl in his class. We all go to this like Waldorf school, and it's a farm school, and she tried to talk to the mom about how her daughter had hurt her son's feelings, and the mom just couldn't hear anything. And so and my friend is like very gentle and soft, and so for me, I kind of just like took it a step further, where I was just like, thinking about also my relationship to like white women, like both friends that I've had, like white women in the industry, as sort of a sort of thing where it's like gatekeeping is there. And this is all like behind the scenes. I don't know how much people got this from like what was going on in the conversation between the two moms, but there's just a way in which white women, I've had just the experience of white women gatekeeping, and you can't actually get angry at them, and you can't, because they are, you know, the kind of gatekeeping. But I was mad. I was angry. So it's like, how awesome if I could. And I, again, like, I really love action and violence. I don't let my kid watch it, but like, I love, like, I will stay up and watch just like the revenge films. Like when Is God Is came out, like I went to go see it because I was like, oh, I want to see what a Black woman is able to do when she's around other Black women / women of color who allow her to just present what she wants through her rage. And as a woman who's perimenopausal and going through my second spring, I'm really into the idea of the dark feminine and the sacred feminine. And you've got to go to the underworld, be able to, before you come up, to be reborn. And so I'm all about just like rageful, just, you know, Kali energy. And yeah, so, you know, that's, I wanted to have.
I loved it. When you go low, I go to the 9th ring of hell. So I
down there.
Because
I loved it. You said, "Oh, you want to go low, but when you dip, I dip, we dip." I love it.
Yeah, you know, because I'm sitting there and I'm watching it, and then left, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what just happened?" But here's the thing: I used to have locks a long time ago, and I'm not going to talk too much about the film because, again, if you're in Philadelphia,
I don't want to
go
give it away.
see it. But when he reached out to touch the hair, that was triggering for me, because I've had that happen far too often than not, especially when I would go on auditions, because I used to be an actor. And when I would go on auditions, you know, it's immediately, sometimes without thinking, they're reaching. I'm like, see, that right there is a violation. So when I saw that, I was like, oh, okay. See, you everything you got in the next 3 minutes, you asked for it. And they think it's okay.
That's funny. I never remember that part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, and you can see the reaction.
It's like a mom being like, "I'm coming to you. My child is hurt,
Right.
and you are not listening,
and you don't care,
and you are just in your own world." Like that, like, because we know about the hair touching, and we teach our kids, don't let anybody touch your head, but it's this invisible part of like Black, to me, motherhood and Black womanhood, of just like the erasure, the invisibility, the like expectations of like compose, like all of that shit is just so like enraging and needs to go somewhere.
But what was beautiful was you both had films about caring parents, very different types. One live action, one animated. But both of those parents would have walked over hot coals for either of their children.
Yeah, that's a fact. Yeah.
And you also had films about strong females. One a little girl, one a grown-up woman. And so I think that it really, for me, like Chick-a-Boom was so cute, but it was also so good. You know, as young, as little Black girls, we want to be great. And whether it's to be like our dad, our mom, our favorite teacher, our favorite athlete, our favorite actor, whatever, we want to be great. And when we're not, the world then reminds us we're not every time.
Right.
But we had to learn to not be the reminder for ourselves. There's enough no, and you ain't enough out there for us not to be that for us, right? So watching it really, how empowered both Kaboom made her, but how empowered she then made herself, was so super strong for me. And just, I love the animation style too, the colors, the saturation. It was just really, 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 really beautiful. but both of you showed how important Black feminine pride and esteem and care is in these very decidedly different ways, but completely relatable on both sides of the scale. And so I just commend you, as from filmmaker to filmmakers, beautiful work, phenomenal intentionality, hella impact.
The one thing I want to make sure before it's all said and done, is to make sure that there's a huge spotlight on is Ruth Carter's costumes, Hannah Beekler's production design, Yara Shahidi's acting, Tika Sumter's acting. Like the amount of pride and hard work and creativity that those women poured into this little story about this little girl that just had a dream to be something that she didn't quite know how to be yet was really important. And I was honored that they took the time to play in the sandbox with me, because they're all far beyond my pay grade.
Are you going to do a Q&A where you talk about this so we can all ask you questions about the process?
Oh man, hopefully so. Yeah, okay. It was an awesome process for sure.
Yeah, and interestingly enough, now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, one of the through lines with both films, as different as they are, for me, was patience. Because with the mom, she had to learn patience when dealing with other people, when dealing with her child.
I appreciate that she ain't have none.
Yeah. Yep. She let her know where she was coming from, but at the end, as opposed, well, right. She had some patience, because I don't want to say anything. Again, I don't want to give it away.
See,
but also,
I love you, my favorite co-host, but I tend to I pointedly disagree. I don't believe that was about patience. I believe that was about restoration and reconciliation, when she did not have to have patience.
No.
This is the goal. This is the goal right here, to have.
I totally agree with that as well. But at the end,
because maybe her patience was this long for that lady.
Absolutely. But
I love it.
When we got to the part where at the 3:30 mark, and she did what she did, I think for me that took a level of patience, because she could have absolutely escalated it more, because I'm a father. I have 2 daughters. So when it comes to my kids, ain't no playing. It is on popping. Ain't no, we got to talk about, it's on and popping. Ain't no patience. My wife's in the other room. That's the patient one. Me, I ain't being patient. But she showed a level of patience and restraint when she kind of brought it back down, and then they went off and did what they did. Again, I'm not going to tell y'all what happened. You got to go see the film. With Chica, after she opened the closet, and she put what she put back, she also said, I'll be back. So again, I'm not going to rush this process, because it's a process. And that's what I mean by they both showed a level of patience, because old girl was like, oh, I got to work on Chick. And then Chica's like, well, I still have some work to do. And I think for a lot of us, we want it, and we want it right now.
Well, especially now. We live in a microwave society. Right.
Yeah. So that's what I mean by the through line of patience. But I hope they have this discussion at the theater. But both films are debuting at Black Star.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
So why did the both of you choose Black Star to submit your films?
Want to take it first?
Sure. I love Black Star. To me, it is aesthetic is important to them. Politics important to them. There's I'm kind of not into the rhetoric of we need representation. That's kind of the lowest rung of the ladder. Black Star to me feels like real artists, and it was and I've done Black Star before. I had a music video there in the early years, and then my feature played there. Maori, who started Black Star, it's a respect I can be a little bit of a snob at times around like art and artists and thinkers, and Maori is just that bitch. And she like created just like the people that are working there. And I don't think she runs it anymore, but like they all have that same level of artistic integrity. And I want to be accepted by them. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I second, third, all of that, with the only addition of they were so supportive of Chika the moment that they saw it, right? And that's a character that I believe will really find her people, and I believe a big contingent of her people will be at Black Star.
Yeah.
You know what you're going, like the people that go know what they're going for. They're going to like hang out in between the films and have amazing conversations. They're going to be enlightened by the films. They're going to be entertained by the films. And it's for people who haven't gone, like sometimes I mentor younger filmmakers, and I'm always like, Black Star has to be on your list. Like that is the festival you need to know about. You just feel so, like literally you feel so good when you go. And any offshoot event they came to LA, and it's that same feeling. It's really good.
Yeah.
And they're brave. I think, unlike a lot of politics, I'll just say they're very brave, and they've made their statements, and I respect that.
Yeah, I can't. This is my first time attending the festival in its entirety. I'm from Philadelphia, and I was telling Craig earlier that every year, around the festival, I'm always doing something with family, so I was never able to go. But this year, I said I am going to make it a point to go to Black Stars. So I hope to see the both of you there, because I will be at both of your screenings. But this has been absolutely amazing. So what's next for the two of you after Black Star, and anything that you have going on?
Before we do that, I just want to say the film that I was talking about, where there was a character that was dealing with body dysmorphia, it's called Naked Acts, and it was restored by Maya Cade, and it's in part of the Criterion Collection now. But folks should also follow Maya Cade. She is like, I think it's like one of 2 or one of 3 Black film distributors, and she's also amazing. Yeah.
Wow. So what's next on the horizon?
I have no idea. No, I'm kind of living in the day to day. Like I have all these different projects that I'm like, in the second Wicked film, I think it's the second or the first film, Cynthia Erivo sings this song where she's just like, nobody's gonna hold me back. Like there's no.
That's the first one.
The first one. That's basically what I'm living on right now. Like a lot of people in Hollywood feel hella depressed and sad about stuff, and I've got like a comedy which I've never done before that is inspired by my parents, who are pickleball champions. They're 85 and 78, and I'm like looking for a writing collaborator. I have a limited series that dives into my paranoia around AI and fascists. I have my Beast, my own film, and trying to get another TV episode. And before all of that, it's like, okay, what's my kid gonna eat when he comes back from his dad's house? And like, how am I gonna, so I'm kind of in the day to day.
Yeah, for me, Roy Wood Jr. and I have a project that I guess will be getting announced soon, hopefully, that we've been working on for a couple of years now. And Chika's feature, hopefully, and another project, like all of the prison of NDAs that we all have, right? But there's another larger animated project. Yeah, I think that's the best way to say
Very
that.
cool.
So I don't find myself in,
Listen, we need you to make it. So
Yeah, well, there you go.
But no, it's all been so beautiful, and this Chika was my first animation, so I was learning that world, and I could tell you, having done live action and now animation, is that animation is a beautiful place to be. The types of artists that they have there or have the same spirit, if not more, as live action, and they're super welcoming people. So the folks out there that have ideas that they want to try out in animation, I think they should 100% do it. Right?
Well, okay. And where can people find the two of you online?
Instagram at c.craig.
I'm Instagram Tchaiko, but I'm not on there a lot. So if you write to me, it's gonna take me like a month to get back to you.
We got to write you letters.
I'm trying to do a lot more like in-person stuff, or like
I
if you want to find me, like you'll find me, and because you'll find someone who knows me, because we're such a small community. But I just have felt so much better in the past since the fires. No, before the fires in Altadena, I've just, for my anxiety, I've just I deleted the app, and I don't go on there except for to look at memes of doo-doo lettuce and.
Yeah, because when because I was trying to figure out how I would contact you to come on, and I went on your website.
Yeah, I'm super easy to find.
Yeah, I went on your website, and I saw your manager, and I said, no, I'm going to just email her directly.
Yeah, that's the way.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, what I just said, I emailed Tchaiko directly. Please don't
harass these people.
Don't do that.
Don't harass these people.
That's not the way to do things.
Unless you want to hire me.
There you go.
Chase them with a check, or if you're chasing them for intel, mentorship, information, please have both hands open. We have two hands for a reason, one to give and one to receive. Do not go to our guests saying, what can you do for me? This is not a Janet Jackson song. It is not what have you done for me lately. It is going to the people and saying, hey, I'm a filmmaker. I have some free time and bandwidth. Is there something I can support of yours? Because I would like to also have your advice, mentorship, time, etc. There's a way to approach folks to get the things you want, and that is to provide them with the things they need. Let's not be those people, folks. I talk to y'all about this every show.
Yeah, that's too funny.
We bring these people to you for you to learn and be informed and all the things. But let's also remember that they have their own things to do, and they have their own communities to support. And if you would like to be a part of that, there's an etiquette and an ethical way to do that. Harassing and chasing them is not it. Because then y'all make us look bad, and don't be out here messing up the church's money.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
Listen, all it is like to play. Don't be out here messing with the church's money.
Yeah, you can't mess with the church.
Chinese, Okema?
Guyanese and Bayesian.
Oh, I'm half Guyanese. My dad's from Georgetown.
Listen, Georgetown. We saw Rumfeld in Georgetown. Yes, ma'am. I was just talking to my crazy Rastafarian father a second ago before I got on with y'all.
Yeah. But this has been absolutely amazing. But everything that Okema just said, if you're hitting them up with the please let me pick your brain, understand that
you cannot pick their brain and their 20 plus years of things for a venti Starbucks.
Hold on. You can pick their brain, but ladies and gentlemen, there's a caveat to that. An invoice comes with that.
Right, pick your price.
An invoice comes with that. Consulting. So when you say pick my brain, when that invoice comes, there it is. But they ain't no free brain picking.
Sweat equity or something.
So I hate to rock the boat on that. I jump on Zoom with people all the time, man. Like if you have a question, I'll answer the question. It's no problem.
If you do that when you have the bandwidth and the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, I don't do it on set. Yeah, no.
But also, let's not. I hate the phrase "pick your brain." It's just I hate the phrase. Can I commune with you? Can I talk to you? Can I inquire with you?
Or I have a question. This is the question. That's fine.
I actually am starting to do something called Story Doula, where I have people can either for an hour ask me any question about their project, because I've done this for my assistants. where it's like being an executive producer, but like on call, or I do like a group of people and help them like with accountability and finding a way that their stories are like for them, because with AI and technology, anybody can make stuff. But what I think is needed for a lot of people is figuring out what their voice is. So I actually do that. So people can email me for more information about that.
See? Again, there are ways to do it without being a bugaboo. That's my biggest thing. I just don't like people out here harassing people.
Craig though says you can email him.
Yeah, facts. I have the horrendous habit of answering everything.
Your brain.
Hey, if you're willing to wait the time it takes to get in the meeting, it's all good.
You're gonna get off of here and your inbox gonna be like, boom.
David, listen, your DMs is about to be hot.
Yo, look, mad respect, man. If there's, because I tell you what, when I had questions, there were people willing to answer. Right. So like
there's just a way to do it. I just always feel like there's just a way to do it.
Yeah.
So that you can continue to endear yourself to the person and be and then be accessible to you, rather than they see your number and just be like,
that's a thing for sure. Yeah.
Definitely.
Thank y'all so much.
It has been such a pleasure to have you both.
This was awesome.
Thank you so much for sharing your experience, your wisdom, your jokes with our audience and with us. We never count it or take it for granted that people want to come and share with us, because you don't have to. And so we are so grateful for the time you've given us and our audience, and the accessibility that you've given us and our audience. So thank you so very much. And congratulations to the both of you on your projects, past and present and future.
Thank you. Hope to see you at the festival. I'll be there.
I won't be there. I have to go I'm shooting in Detroit, but
okay. Godspeed.
I'm shooting on film for the very first time, and I'm petrified, but I'm excited.
Go.
Like celluloid?
16 millimeter.
Oh, that's awesome.
Let's go.
It's gonna be
great.
That's
gonna be dope. Yeah, that's gonna be an amazing experience.
So you guys go be great and just send me good juju, because I'm petrified but excited.
Done deal.
All good.
But ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining myself, my amazing co-host Okema T, Tchaiko Omawale, and C.Craig Paterson. See, I got it right before this show was over, because I'm sitting here staring at your name. I said I'm not going to say her name wrong ever again. So thank you for joining myself, Okema T, the amazing auteur Tchaiko Omawale, and the amazing, extraordinary auteur C.Craig Paterson on a conversation with. Please share this episode with your friends. Please follow both of these amazing directors, because yes, you can hit them up via email, but you can find out so much information by just following them on social media, because a lot of the information that I got on both of these amazing people was right there on their Instagram page. So make sure that you are following both of them. If they end up having GoFundMes for their films, whatever's coming up, please support. We always talk about Black not this, Black not that, but we have two amazing directors in front of you with upcoming projects, and money makes the world go round. It is what it is. So,
and a share is free. A share and a like and a repost is free.
There you go. There
you
you
don't
go.
have it to support fiscally.
That's right. But again, we appreciate the two of you coming on. I am so excited to meet be meeting the both of you in person next month at Black Star Film Festival. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, love it like a hobby, but
Treat it
like a business. Have an absolutely amazing night. Don't go anywhere.
You two don't
guys.
go anywhere.
Okay.